Tommy Heffernan, a veterinary consultant here. I'm in Carriganvara, County Cork, a farm belonging to Hazell Mullins. Many people know her as a veterinarian. She's also dairy farming here in partnership with her dad. I'm here to catch up with Hazel to find out, it's in the middle of spring, a little bit about what she's doing around calf health and management. She's put in a new feeder as well. She's feeding precision microbes through it. So we're going to have a chat about all that. Okay, so we're on the road today, and now we have reached Carriganvara. Have I pronounced that right?
You have.
And
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Hazel. And I'm with Hazell Mullins, who is a vet and a farmer, who's been on RT Radio 1. I know you for years, and many people know you from social media. Your work in Veterinary Ireland, President of Veterinary Ireland, etc., etc.
Yes.
But for those who don't know you, can you give a brief background into who you are and where we are?
Yeah, so I'm Hazell Mullins. I am 12 years qualified now as a vet, so it feels like yesterday, but and work mostly with cows, and I'm dairy farming here with my dad as well. So for the last 2 years we've been in partnership, so it's been a change. We kind of I left full-time practice and came farming, and then I still locum, and I do kind of bits on the side, and it's good. I'm enjoying it. And then so we're milking 60 cows here, and we've also kind of a dairy to beef in kind of industry as well, or enterprise here. Okay. And so that's me.
Hazel, the one thing, and we've done this twice today, is because you're a vet, obviously you've got best practice. Okay, and I've said to people I'd probably be a very bad farmer. I know how to farm in paper, but in practice it's different. So I'd like to have a chat with you just about dry cow management, because you've also got to implement all these things that aren't always easy in real life, are they?
No, there's a bit of work to them, Tommy. And you know, as vets, we know best practice, and we like to, you know, suggest, and we know what works, but actually how practical things are, and you know, trying to make things fit into a farmer's life and make things easy is probably the biggest thing for me. So, you know, we use so dry cow management here. I changed from a height like a lime, cubicle lime, to a cubicle lime plus sawdust, because it was just too heavy for me. Okay. And I find the job now a lot easier, and I'm getting good results with it as well. And you know, things like that. So twice a day is now no bother to me. I'm scraping, cleaning. I just like, and I definitely see the impact of that then in the bull tank, because my somatic cell count is good, and I've no cases of mastitis. And I just find that, you know, if you concentrate on the small things like that, I think later on, then I think someone said that the dry period is the start of lactation, and I actually quite like that. I never really thought of it like that. Yeah. Whereas you think the start of lactation is when they start calving and go into the parlour, but actually you should think of it as when they actually dry off, go into their shed on their holidays, and then that's the start, because you know that's your new cycle. So
okay, and what lessons have you brought from a veterinary perspective to your own farm? Is it kind of the practical things you've seen on farm? Is it the theory? Is it a mixture of all those things?
Yeah, I think we're always learning, and I always learn from other people as well. And when I see farmers doing different things, and you know, I kind of say, oh, are you doing that? And how do you do that every day? Or like just picking up tips and tricks. And I think we can all learn from each other, and no one is perfect. I think we're always trying to improve.
And when you bring new ideas back to your dad here in the farm, how are they received?
Yeah, generally good. Yeah, sometimes he gives me kind of a raised eyebrow, but generally things are quite well received, and we're open to change, which is always good. I think that's the main thing with farming, is open to change and moving with times as well. So
we're going to go into the calf shed here now for a little look, and leave the dry cows behind us. We're going to talk a small bit about calf management, some practical tips that you have on farm. Okay. And we're getting Mike to walk very fast there, so we're going to slow down. So you've been cleaning the farm all morning since you came. We've added stress in the middle of spring.
Making scones.
We've had
the farm.
Very good scones. Myself and Mike behind the camera have had probably the nicest scones I've had in a long time. Jam and cream.
Recipe, you can't go wrong.
And a lovely cup of tea. Well, let's talk about calves, Hazel. So talk about your management in general. These are the younger calves. You're not having a great run with bulls to heifer ratio, so your replacement rates are low this year, you said. Yes. But general management, just kind of look, everyone talks about reading colostrum and managing colostrum. What are your practical kind of go-tos for calf health here, and procedures you use?
So the refractometer is definitely a huge benefit to me, and I use it a lot. Okay. Any colostrum I'm freezing, I always test it. Any colostrum that I'm just a bit wary of, I to be honest, we're calving 60 cows. I find it easy enough to test nearly every single cow. So generally this year I've been really getting good results, generally between 25 and 28. I even had a 29. I was very impressed. And that's kind of a thing that's just in my routine now. So I have my refractometer over there. I have all my gloves. I have everything kind of near me, organized. I wouldn't be the most organized person in the world, but for springtime, I generally try to have everything very nearby. Always, cleaning, lots of washing up liquid, lots of milting, just basics. And I know you're always talking about just doing things. Now, this is a new shed for us. This was our calving pens, two calving pens, so hence why there's a calving gate. So we have moved these pens from a smaller, more old-fashioned, milking stall. We've lots of little old houses here on the farm. They're beautiful, but not ideal for raising calves. So we decided to change it up, take all of these gates out of that smaller shed and bring them in here. And it's just more airy, easier to clean out, so we can clean it all out. Dad can drive in here with the scraper, scrape it all out, and just making things easy. And we put up the stock board. I wanted that up just to make sure that when we're power washing, when it's all finished, or if we can clean it down, because obviously you can see all the cracks there. Bugs like to hide in the nooks and crannies, so we tried to make it as cleanliness as possible.
And Hazel, you pair rear the calves, and if I look at space for a calf, even if they were individual pens, you've given them a lot of space. So one of the things I find with pair rearing calves is that they learn from each other from a suckling perspective. What's your experience of having two calves per pen in this kind of setup?
So what we use the peach teat buckets, and I clean them after every feed. I have these two, so these were born a day.
You clean your feeders after every feed.
Every feed, they're there in the parlour, which is across the way, and I have the hot water tap.
You're not lying to us. Mike can show a shot of
They're over there, and so these two are about maybe 12 hours apart. So they're similar ages. I put them in here. I give them. Now this lady's a little bit smaller. This guy's a bit bigger, but just adjust the feed. But generally 3 litres twice a day. They become friends, and then they go. I move them as pairs then up to the bigger shed, so reducing stress. They know each other, so I like to move them in a group, and and as you can see, they're good friends.
And they've good space. And I heard you on RT Radio 1 recently, and there was a suggestion that there's a little bit of matching going on. Pink
I was playing dress up with the calves, yes.
So the calf jackets, the heifer calves are in the pink jackets, and where possible, the bull calves are in blue.
Now, there is just to show on camera. There's a heifer calf there in a black jacket. Because
she doesn't identify. Let's not open that can of worms.
Fine,
okay, very good. So generally, obviously, on whole milk to begin with in here, I'm presuming, Hazel. And we're going to go up to the other calves. Anything else so you focus on hygiene, warm bed space, all the essentials.
That's nice straw,
That's a nice straw. Anything else that you do with calves that's a little bit different here on this period, or that kind of just get the basics right? Get
the basics right, they're definitely here for a week, if not, 8 or 9 days. I move them in groups. I have their ration there as well. I kind of introduce it from kind of day 4 onwards. And
we were looking at ration this morning. So you're going for kind of a crunch mix, And what kind of intakes do you feel you get with that? Slow
in here, very small, really. They're just after they eat, they just might stick their nose in and take a little bit. But generally, when they go up to the big shed, that's when you see them really increasing the intakes. But it's just a really simple shed. I have my straw here. I've got all my bits and pieces on a desk there. A few calf jackets. I've got 2 pens ready. I've got about 5 cows that are close enough calving. So I have ready to go. Everything. I use a lot of that Actisan disinfectant.
Dries as well.
Dries up. I don't like, obviously keeping everything dry once the calves are in here, not to be spreading
it's
germs.
It's quite an airy shed because it's actually, you can't see outside, but it's a nice day. It smells fresh in here.
Yeah, it does. And if there is I think your nose is probably underutilized, and when you come in and you're like, oh, it's a bit stuffy, then you probably need to clean out pens, or you need to open the door. We added on, this is all new, so we added on all of the galvanized, the stock boards. So it's.
And I think that's it.
Always
It's not always,
moving.
it's not always about building brand new sheds. We're going to your new shed up
Yeah.
where your new feeder is. But
Yeah.
you can make little adjustments to existing sheds
Yes.
and
Yeah.
make a huge difference to calves,
Yeah.
can't you?
The only thing is, you know, the light is on now. It might be nice to be like up there is a little bit dark, but look, it's not the
No, it's not too
end
dark.
of the world. But it's look, we're happy with it. We're a lot happier than we were last year with our old pens. So
Very
it's,
good.
it's
Well, let's
all
go
good.
up and look at your other calves then.
Okay.
Okay, so we're up in your, we'll call it your new calf shed.
Yes.
Adjustments to the existing,
Adjustments,
to the existing calf shed, and you've gone automated feeders as well.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that as well. I suppose talk about the challenges and or kind of where we're at. I see some. I hope might get shots of. They're very notable speckled parks
The speckled
fitting
parks,
in there.
yeah.
So I know you a long time, and you are a cow lover in general. You happen
Yeah.
to be a vet and a farmer, but you love cows. So you've gone for a few speckled parks.
Someone said to me recently, you know, you have to love the animals that you look after and,
Right.
and the cows you milk. So I love my nice kind of Holstein British Friesian type cow.
Yeah.
I love the speckled parks. I fell in love with them on a few. You were saying about, you know, being on farms as a vet. About 4 or 5 years ago, they were really popular, and I just fell in love with them. And every time I was testing one or treating one, I was always like, oh, I just love them. So I had convinced Dad to try a few straws.
They're
so it's
beautiful looking calves.
our second year, yeah. So Wilma and Valerie. Valerie was born on Valentine's Day, so she's a special one. But yeah, so lot of Frisian bulls
This year.
this year. I think you get years. Last year we had a really good year with conventional. We do sex semen as well. We did 12 straws and we got 7 heifers, so that a lot of them in the pink jackets.
Yeah.
So we're very happy with them, and mostly from our own heifers.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just trying to build up the genetics on the farm, and we've got kind of a nice type cow now that I'm very happy with. But we're always improving, always trying to. I'm always learning. I suppose I'm kind of new into this, you know, the EBIs and breeding, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah. So
You've gone automated feeding this year with,
Yes.
with a JFC feeder. So,
Yeah.
second farm we're on today with a feeder. First farm was rearing calves, but you know, feeder saving time, not without their challenges in relation to. But what's been your, I suppose, your experience with the feeder to date?
Yeah, so it's probably turned on now nearly 3 weeks, and really, really like it. Love the information that I get from the screen. I can pick up calves that maybe, you know, even slowing down and drinking, they might have, you know, just not finished their allocated amount, but there might be a 200 ml or something left.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant that way. And the calves, yeah, they adjust really quickly to it. Like I'd say all I have to do is kind of bring them to it twice, and then they're kind of away with it then, you know, and just happy with
Saving
it all.
your time as well.
Save you a lot of time. And I think in the mornings as well, I just have a lot more time to spend with the baby calves below, really focusing on them, really making sure that they're getting the best transition, milk quality, cleaning them out, all of that. And then when they come up here, then it's kind of a little bit easier now, and they just kind of do their thing. So all of these guys are about 3 to 4 weeks old, so they're doing well. And
What feeding rate do you have these on? These are quite solid bull calves.
Yeah, they're on 6 litres, so 2 litres every 8 hours.
Okay. And what's their feed intakes like with the crunch now? Are they starting to nibble a bit?
Yeah, no, they are. They're definitely. I doubt they're up around. I'd say maybe 500 grams, maybe that kind of rate. I don't know exactly.
Yeah. And
But they're definitely going to.
What would you aim to wean them at, Hazel? What would your target, like, so intakes of concentrates?
I would be hoping that they'd be up at 2 kilos.
Okay, 2 kilos per calf per day.
Yeah.
And you've been using microbes. I just happened to see a drum as it happens.
There is a drum here, yes.
You're using it through the feeder. You've used it
Yeah.
twice. Are you happy with what you've seen so far?
Yeah, so it's probably my third year using it. Really happy. It's great that the feeder does it. That, you know.
You're not trying to
so
dose it.
it's 5 mil per litre, so that goes up to the 30 mils per day.
Yeah.
So they're kind of getting it per litre, and it's like, as you can see, there's a great shine in them. They're happy. No problem drinking it either, like palatability. And I just think, you know, it's going from strength to strength.
Good.
To be honest.
And you got Scour last year, but they pulled through it when, like a lot of farms, I mean, we're not a panacea or a magic bullet, but again, building the resilience for the digestive tract, you felt that when they did get a touch in the older shed, I think last year, wasn't it? they got a bit of scour
it
that
was
they
cold.
pulled through.
You see, we didn't have these walls last year, so
Yeah.
it was a lot colder in here. We just had the windbreaker and the stockboard, and it was cold. Now they had their jackets on for longer,
Yeah.
but I just felt like the precision definitely helped them get through it. Like
Yeah.
we didn't lose any calves, like generally 1 or 2 electrolytes, and they were back bouncing back.
Good.
But the weather last year, stress, it just has such an effect on them. And I think just trying to, like, these guys now will be due to be dehorned in the next kind of week. So I'm going to make sure that they're, you know, got nice beds, nice day like today if I can, you know, everything kind of as calm as possible.
And you knock them down and dehorn then?
I do, yeah.
So just talk to us about that routine and why it saves so much stress on calves. It's become very popular on farm now.
Yeah, so it's basically getting a vet to administer the sedation.
Yeah.
And they basically just end up all asleep, conked out, snoring. And then you're able to administer the local and you're able to dehorn, and they just wake up then and everything is done. And generally they're back drinking all, you know, they've had their pain relief as well. Major benefit of using pain relief as well on dehorning calves. So yeah, it's a good way. It's a good system. We like it. Like, look, we do batches of 10, and then I kind of give up after that. But
and Hazel, I suppose to finish up, it's busy spring, and you're doing so many other things. You're on Zoom calls and you're involved in other projects.
Yeah.
And still involved in Veterinary Ireland. You seem to be enjoying farming. You're a great ambassador. You did a great piece on Radio 1 recently, and you're a great ambassador for vet profession. I know from talking to lots of young vets, both female and male, but particularly female vets, I think it'd be fair to say, like, really, you know, look up to what you do and how you communicate and talk about the profession. And it's so you're a great ambassador from that. So I suppose, what's the plan? Continue farming here? Continue doing your veterinary work? Balancing it all?
Yeah, no, I love farming, but I also love being a vet.
Yeah.
And it's a big passion of mine, you know, large animal veterinary, and I just love to be involved. So in the summer now I'll be back, you know, doing all the fun things back in practice, but just for spring I take the break. I concentrate on the calves, helping my dad and doing the few little pieces in between. But yeah, I just love it. And like I kind of in North Cork, and I really enjoy the farmers out there, and I just enjoy, I suppose, look, I love being a vet, and I just think that if I was completely farming all the time, I'd really miss it. So it's trying to find that balance, and like things like the feeder help, you know, making sure that we've got good systems in place, that it allows me that time in the middle of the day between milkings to go and do the locomine and then come back, and you know, the place is still standing.
And I think the biggest thing there, and it's a great attitude to have, is make small changes over time. I've never been on a perfect farm, have you?
No.
Okay, well, I on your journey to perfection here, I wish you well.
Thank you.
Look, I know you for many years, and you're a great ambassador for vets as well in the profession, so continued success.
Thank you, Tommy. You're welcome anytime.
And very good scones. Very good scones.